Hello, you awesome friends, and happy Monday. I trust you're well and hope life is good. And I just want to reach out to you wherever you are across the world. Now, if you're watching the recording of this, hello to you wherever you are. I'm actually putting this in our legendary vault, as well as doing a LinkedIn Live on a topic that a lot of you have been asking me about lately, saying, Ed, how do we create a legendary LinkedIn profile? So this one's actually going to be a bit different, and I'm going to show you why. Now, first things first, my friends, as you know of all my LinkedIn Lives, I love how it appears on my mobile phone. So I'm actually going to keep an eye on your comments. And if you are watching the recording of this in the vault or wherever, don't you worry, just message me anytime like the chat. Now, I'm going to go through how to create a legendary LinkedIn profile. And welcome eClinic. We've got a business page watching us. And for those around the world who have just tuned in, a big thank you. I've got my phone right here so I can respond to all of your comments and keep an eye on them. Now, we're going to change the screen. We're going to do something a bit different today. We're going to make Edward's ear smaller and we're going to make my PowerPoint bigger. And what I'm going to do in this one, I'm actually going to go through just some aspects of my LinkedIn profile. Again, I'm a guy who spends a lot of time on LinkedIn, being LinkedIn accredited and all that. And I love my LinkedIn profile. So I'm just going to go through what I like about my LinkedIn profile. But I'm here not to talk about myself, but basically here to demo how you can create a fantastic LinkedIn profile. If you've got any questions, let me know. And by the way, you may not agree with everything I'm saying. Take what you want and don't take what you don't want, okay? Because I got some great ideas. But I'm just going to tell you what I think and we'll take it from there. And Ken Dunner, welcome. Ken Dunner, you are a fine man. We've got Ken Dunner in, who's an amazing man. So first things first, my friends. And just so you know, in case it looks different on your end, I use LinkedIn in dark mode. So it might appear white on your end. I'm using the dark version. Now let's go through what is on Edward's ear screen. And if you can't see all the detail, don't worry about it too much because I'll be talking through it with you. Now, first things first, my friends. Here's the biggest thing that needs to be done well on a LinkedIn profile. You want your name correct. And I've seen people stuff that up. You want to have your name, you want to have it correct. And the first thing you want is some beautiful photos, okay? So I see absolutely amazing people absolutely destroy themselves on their LinkedIn profiles because their photos are awful. And I don't want you to be one of them. I want you to have fantastic photos so you look the part. So I'll show you the photos that I got. You can see in this image here, I've got an amazing, wonderful selfie with legendary Lassie, which is a great photo. And I just took it with this phone, literally selfie with this phone. Oh my God, we got a few people. We got Intran, welcome, good seeing you. And we got Sashin, welcome. Got the whole gang. If you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment. Tell me where you're from. And if you're watching the recording of this, be it in our vault or wherever, or later on, just send me a message anytime if you've got any questions because I appreciate you. Now, here's a big thing I want to share with you, legendary winners, my friends. And here's one of the key points. Your LinkedIn profile is everything. And this is often the first thing that people will check out and they'll make a decision whether to work with you or not. So it's got to be good. Now, first thing I want to say to people is get your name right, of course. But some people even misspell their names. I've seen it, believe it or not. Or they have like weird spacing or a grammar error or something. The second thing I want to say is have really good photos in there. Okay, it doesn't have to, you don't have to pay for it, but have a really good photo of you looking the part. If it's, let's say, a business with your partner or whatever, you might have a photo with them, as I do with wonderful Lassie, and have a really, really good networking, a really good banner. Now, show what I've done. My banner is actually of one of my networking events. You might have a banner, let's say, hypothetically, you're an employee, right? And you're going for more career development. You might have a photo of you running a workshop or talking at work. Let's say you're a solicitor or an attorney. You might have a photo of you in court or something. But basically, this is you showcasing yourself. And I'll say it again, this is you showcasing yourself. So make sure you put in some good photos. Again, you don't have to pay for it. Just take a selfie or take some photos like that. And that is the first thing I want to say to you people, because this is the way photos work. From a psychological psychology point of view, photos are some of the best things ever because they actually persuade deep at the subconscious mind. Ever driven past Lassie and I made this joke yesterday, we actually drove past this very divey hotel yesterday and we're like, ugh, doesn't look good. Likewise, when you go past an expensive hotel, you're going to feel good. Goyal, welcome. If you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment. If you're watching the recording, message me anytime. So that's one of the first things I want to say to you. Get your name right. Make sure there's no mistakes. Make sure your account's set up correctly. Use LinkedIn Premium because you're going to get more views and it's safer. And of course, have a good banner image. Now, this brings me to the next point. I'm just zooming in right here, as you can see in the PowerPoint, just zooming in right here. Your wording is absolutely critical. But this identifies who you are. This identifies what you're doing. This basically identifies everything. And again, so I'm saying two things here. You want that beautiful look and feel to come through, right? That beautiful look and feel. Now you need the right words to really, really impact people, right? I'll tell you my words. We love LinkedIn and Microsoft, LinkedIn certified speaker, speaking now, master influencer coach, business networking meetup leader, teachable creative veteran, Christian, and married to Lassie. Now, I'm asking you this. Is there any doubt as to what I do for a living? Might be, maybe a little bit, but I doubt it. At the end of the day, you know I'm into LinkedIn. You know I'm a coach. I'm into business networking. That's pretty much what I want to get across. And I see this a lot, actually. I look at heaps of LinkedIn profiles every day, right? And a lot of our wonderful clients and community members, and thank you, by the way, will say, Ed, can you please look over my LinkedIn profile and give me some thoughts? I'll do that. By the way, if you want me to have a look at your LinkedIn profiles on the house and give you some thoughts, send me a message over LinkedIn. I'd be more than happy to have a quick peek. Now, the key thing here is that, hey, Jaideep, welcome. Good seeing you, Jaideep. Just come in, like, share, comment, sell it. Now, you want to get this wording perfect. And my advice to you is don't go for creativity. Go for being clear and direct. So I find where I think people go wrong with this one is they try and be super creative, right? They're trying to like win an award. And you end up reading their LinkedIn profile, and you don't actually know what they do. If you're a solicitor or an attorney, say so, okay? If you are a coach, what kind of coach are you? If you're a job seeker and you're looking for a job, what kind of role are you after and what do you offer? So the thing I want to say to you is try not to please be creative. I'm not saying don't be boring, but before you try to be creative, be clear in what you're saying. Ken Dunner, let's have a look at Ken Dunner's LinkedIn pic. Right, I'll have a quick peek. I'm just going to have a look at Ken Dunner's. I got to use my phone here, by the way, as you can see here. But I love Ken Dunner. Ken Dunner and I go way back. And let's have a look at Ken Dunner's LinkedIn profile, right? I don't know if you can see it on my phone, but I like Ken Dunner's LinkedIn profile. It's really good. And I know you've heard this before. Ken Dunner, you look like one of my favorite actors, LeVar Burton, who also played Geordie LaForge in Star Trek Next Generation. I've said that to you before. My advice to you, Ken Dunner, is you've got a great profile, Ken, but I think it's time for a new photo because you just got like a black background behind you, like sort of a dark background. I'd have like a cool background in front of the building, something outside, something like that. But good photo, but I think you can take another one and you can just use a selfie. So thing is, as I was saying, my legendary friends, and this is Ken Dunner's photo, so you can sort of see how I'm reacting right there, right? Probably can't see it in the small image, but that's okay. Check out Ken Dunner. We love you, Ken Dunner. But that's a key thing, my friends, is this, right? You got to have key wording and be very clear on what you do. So my advice to you is don't go for creativity, go for clarity, okay? Are you a real estate agent? Are you a data scientist? Are you a doctor? Tell us what you're doing. Be very, very, very clear and direct because you can tweak it over time. The other thing you'll notice as well is I've got hashtags beneath my wording. And this is what's called creation mode. So if you haven't already, make sure you activate creator mode. It's fantastic. And in creation mode, my legendary friends, you can pick up to 5 hashtags. Now, what's beautiful about this is when you select and creator mode, basically, backtracking a bit, it helps you get more views and it helps you get seen more. So I highly recommend you activate creator mode. If you just scroll down, you should see an option for it. Now, you have your hashtags as well, right? You can select up to 5 hashtags. And the beauty of this is it does 2 things. Number one, my legendary friends, is that when you put in your hashtags, it tells people what you're about. So it's an opportunity to tell people what sort of content you post so you still get the right people connecting with you or you attract the right people. The second thing is actually tells the LinkedIn algorithm what you stand for. So whenever you post on LinkedIn, it's getting LinkedIn to help you. You're telling LinkedIn what you stand for, so it helps steer the LinkedIn algorithm in the right direction. So it's absolutely fantastic. And Ken Dunner, love that comment. Ken Dunner, I love you. And I'm sorry, you do look like Geordie LaForge, played by LeVar Burton from Star Trek Next Generation. And I was going to say that you are very awesome. And I love Ken Dunner and LeVar Burton. If anyone knows LeVar Burton, tell them that Edward Z from Australia loves him. Great guy. Check out Star Trek Next Generation, Geordie LaForge. He was the chief engineer. That's right, we're talking about LinkedIn. So check out your wording and make it very, very direct and on point. Now, what I've basically done is I've just taken another screenshot a bit lower on my LinkedIn profile. And this is, again, it'll look different on your end because this is how it looks on my PC. But you can see the bit where I've got creator mode, which is activated as on. And then I have the featured posts. Now, what's beautiful about LinkedIn is you can do featured posts. So if you have a post that's really good, you can hit the featured button, right? And so let's say you do a post on LinkedIn. It's good. If you hit the featured button or top, hit the 3 dots, I think it says feature this post or pin post at the top. You'll see it anyway in there. when you post it, it puts it on this beautiful featured tile wall that I think looks just fantastic. So the featured is absolutely amazing. So check it out here. It's very, 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 and extremely handy. So I highly recommend it. Now, that brings us, and just so as a key point, you can move it around, you can swap it, you can remove them. So you can see in my latest post how I featured everything and how good it looks. Suzanne LaPlay Miller, thank you. I'm glad you like it, Susan, and welcome. You've just come in. Please smash that like, sharing, comment, say hello, tell me where you're from. And by the way, if you are watching the recording of this, be it now Volt or wherever or on LinkedIn, thank you for watching the recording of it. If you got any questions, just reach out to me. And pardon me for looking down. I'm actually, wow, kicked down at 65. You don't look it, man. You're looking good. But we got a great team here, and thank you for being one of the live people on the line. Okay, it's very, very important. Now, here's a bit that's very subjective. There's a million ways to do it. And again, this is not a course in copywriting, okay? But your LinkedIn bio. This has generated a lot of controversy over the years, how you should write a LinkedIn bio. And I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not gonna tell you how to write it, but I'm gonna tell you what you want it to achieve. And however you write it, it's up to you. Be it it's third person or first person, be it you want to be creative or casual or serious, write it to your brand. Okay, write it to what you stand for. But I'll say this. Your LinkedIn profile, hey Susan, in Chicago, Illinois. Wow, it's late. It must be late there. What time is it in Chicago, Illinois now, Suzanne? Thank you for tuning in. So your LinkedIn profile has to do three things. Number one, identify yourself. Clearly tell everyone that you do. If you're an attorney, please tell people you're an attorney. If you're a data scientist looking for new work, please say that. Point one. Point two, your LinkedIn profile, my legendary friends, needs to clearly do is it needs to tell me why I should trust you. And I'll say that again. Your LinkedIn profile needs to say why I should trust you. Okay. This is very important because once you've established what you do, the next obvious question is, well, that's nice, Ed. You're a LinkedIn expert. Why should I listen to you? Oh my God, Suzanne says it's 10 p.m. in Chicago. Well, thank you for staying up to watch my LinkedIn Live. I promise it won't be too much longer. If you just tuned in, like, share, comment. If you're watching a recording, if you're in our vault, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Second thing you want your profile, your About Us text on your profile to do is, why should I trust you? And a very good example of that is, what have you done previously? What companies have you worked for? What clients have you worked with? How many clients have you worked with? So you've got to say something and build trust. You can see I've done it here. I've talked about all the coaching hours, and I know, pardon me if you can't read it on the screen, just jump on my profile. I've talked about all the coaching hours I've done, the companies I work for. I've mentioned the fact that I'm a veteran. I used to work for the government and the federal police and all that. So I've said a lot of very, very cool stuff there that is actually easily verifiable. And that's why the big thing is that the more easily verifiable what you're saying is, it makes it more believable. So for example, I've said to you that I have, I've had hundreds of clients, thousands, let's say hundreds of clients, but I've probably had thousands of clients over the years. I should add it up one day. But the key thing is that I've got over 300 LinkedIn recommendations, so it's believable. Okay. It's funny, actually. I know I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but you'll appreciate it. There's this guy on YouTube I watch by the name of Don Shipley, and he's this retired Navy SEAL he basically busts people doing stolen valor that are pretending to be naval SEALs. Unfortunately, you get a lot of people pretending to be like Navy SEAls and commandos and that. You can get a bit in Australia too. Anyway, and he does these whole videos on it, and people make these crazy claims that they fought in all these wars, or they were general commanders, or they were ninjas, or just weird stuff like that. And he just busts them, right? The whole stolen valor thing. So here's the big thing. Only say which you can verify. Okay, that's a big thing. So, don't say anything that A, isn't true, because that's dishonest. I would never suggest that. But B, make sure it's believable. It's in the realm. Like I was watching this funny, type in Don Shipley into YouTube. I was watching this funny Don Shipley video where he was talking about, there was this fake Navy SEAL who said he was a ninja working for the Navy SEAL. So he wasn't just a Navy SEAL, he was like a ninja Navy SEAL. Obviously, completely ridiculous and unbelievable. Hence, he got busted on Don Shipley's channel. Anyway, something to check out just as an honorable mention. But yeah, say no to stolen valor. But anyway, that's my point. Yeah, and the third thing is, who are you as a person? We live in a world now, especially very political. Again, I'm not here to talk about politics, but we live in a very political world now. A more divided world. The world's way more divided. And I say this with tragedy. The world is way more divided than what it was 20 or 30 years ago. I think we're way more divided now. And it's a very political world in that people now will shop with their values. So if they're going to hire you, be it for a job or a promotion, they want to know that you're a person of integrity. And it's not just a person of integrity, but do you fit their values? Do you fit their political values? Do you fit their ideological values? Right? Again, whether you're left, right, center, whatever is irrelevant. At the end of the day, people want to pick up people with similar values. So share about who you are. You might be a family person, you might be a single person, you might be an environmental advocate, you might be a Christian, who knows, right? But it's good to share. And for example, I'm quite a politically, I'm quite a, you would say I'm a center of the road guy, right? But I talk about openly I'm a Christian, that sort of thing. So it's good to actually just share that. So here's the thing, even if people don't necessarily agree with who you are as a person or their values don't fit, the fact that you're being honest, they appreciate it. So just something to keep in mind. So again, be respectful, be kind, follow the LinkedIn terms and conditions, but also too as well, feel free to share who you are as a person so people can really feel that, which is fantastic. This one goes about saying, but no one ever does it. And if you've done it, I apologize for accusing you or anything. But what are your actual qualifications? Put them in. You can put in links. And I get asked this all the time saying, Ed, my qualifications in my LinkedIn profile have nothing to do with what I do today. Put it in, because even if what you're doing today is quite different to what you did 20 years ago, people want to see your origins and understand who you are. So again, people want to know all about you. And this, be it they're hiring you for a job or they're going to hire your company or hire you as a person, whatever you're selling, right? They're going to feel so much better about it, which is fantastic. And same goes for education as well. Again, even if you've done some education that does not relate to what you're doing, put it up there. The fact that you've been educated is incredible. And again, it takes time. And as a caveat as well, I'm not expecting you to sit there for 50 hours and get this all done at once. You might just tweak a bit every day and get your profile there, which is fantastic. Licenses and certifications. Two relevant ones I've got. Certified practicing marketer. So I'm basically a high level marketer with the Australian Marketing Institute, and also part of my LinkedIn accreditation. You can see it all there. So if you have got any licenses and certifications, it's good to put it in there, because again, it has integrity and it's got to be verifiable as well. So in the case of the LinkedIn accreditation, you can click that and you can verify it's true. In the case of AMI, you can do the same thing. You can contact them anytime and say, do you know Edward? You can actually Google it. I'm on their site, but you can contact them and say, do you know this Edwards here? They'll be, we never heard of him. Stolen. I'm a stolen marketing. No, you know what I mean? But it's good to put it in there. Now, skills. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the section. You've got this whole skills section when you endorse each other on their skills. I'm not a big fan of the section. I don't think it's that relevant, because I don't know. But basically in this one, you can add your skills and people endorse each other on their skills. I've never been a fan of it. I know a lot of people that agree with me that aren't fans of it. I don't mean to diss LinkedIn. As you know, I love LinkedIn, and anyone from LinkedIn, sorry for not being positive about the section, but I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, I just put up your top skills. If I'm on someone else's profile, I'll click there and endorse some skills, get them endorse skills. But this section hasn't sold me, and I'll tell you why it hasn't sold me. Because I love the recommendations. This is the section I love. This is, to me, the section that means something. This is where you actually recommend people. So I've recommended heaps of people. I've had over 328 recommend me, and thank you for that. But recommendations are fantastic. I've had some fantastic clients in my time. I've recommended my clients. I've had clients recommend me. I've recommended some of my partners. I've recommended some of my colleagues. I've recommended some of the old people I've worked with, right? So giving recommendations to people is very, very, very important. And also receiving them is very important as well. But here's the thing, you want to have at least 10 recommendations, because it helps kick you off in the algorithm. There's a few reasons for that, which I don't go into. So just trust me on that one, which is fantastic. And of course, towards the end, you have your organizations and everything. So here's a quick recap. And again, I'll talk about content in another video, but here's a quick recap for your legendary winners. Number one, beautiful imagery on your profile. Make sure it's all correct. There's no spelling mistakes or anything glaring. Have really good, clear wording that explains who you are. Activate creator mode and pick really good hashtags to steal the algorithm the way you want. And also show that what you're doing. Justine, we got our friend Justine with us. Justine, glad you like it, Justine. Everyone connect with each other. Love your work, Justine. Activate creator mode. As you put up good posts, make sure you pin them to all so they're all featured. Have a really good about us section. Mine's probably a little bit too long. Feel free to write it shorter. I'm not here to tell you how to write it, but I will say this. Identify yourself. Why should I trust you? And who are you as a person? Again, people want to know that you're telling the truth. So only say stuff that's verifiable slash believable, but also too, the other thing is as well, who are you as a person? We live in a very divided world and people are different, and it's a tragedy. I think the world was much more united 10, 20 years ago, but the world's much more divided now. And yeah, again, people are sort of going to their camps. They want to work with people that they feel that value fit. And you see it in companies too. Again, I'm not here to talk politics or business necessarily, but you have boycotts, you have big companies getting into trouble because they did something that didn't fit the values of their customers, which is fantastic. Update your experience. And I forgot to mention as well, if you have your own company as well, make sure you create your own business page or company page. And so create your own company page for your own company. And when you create your role, you can link it to your company page that pulls a logo from there. Little tip I get asked about all the time. Education, same deal. Make sure you have great education. You update it, even if it's not directly relevant. Licenses and certifications. Skills, I'm not a huge fan of this section, but set it up. Recommendations, recommend people with integrity that you trust. And of course, as well, make sure you finish up all the other details as well. And again, I'm not expecting you to do this all at once because it would take you a long time. Do 10 minutes a day and just take it from there. So friends, there you go. Thank you for watching. If you've been this live, I really appreciate you. If you're watching this recording in the vault or online, if you have any questions, just send me a message afterwards on LinkedIn. I'll be honored to help. But thank you for watching. Appreciate you so very much. Thank you for all the time and love that you winners give me. And I just want to say, keep up the greatness. Stay awesome. Talk to you later. And love your work. You legendary winners. Thank you again.